C40 is the C40 Climate Leadership Group, which is an organization of the mayors of the world's largest megacities. About almost 100 now, about 675, 700 million people we represent. And we're here because if you work on climate change, urban forests are a really critical part of our response to the changes we're already seeing. And one thing that's very clear, we're now living in an urban century. So until a few years ago, about 2008, the world was predominantly rural. Now it's predominantly urban. And it will only become more urban because of China and India. So in that context, we don't have the choice to debate whether that's good or not. It's happening. So how do we make it succeed? And one of the ways we make it succeed is to ensure that our cities are healthy, which means you need green spaces and green places and urban forests, are equal, are adapting to climate change, are prosperous, and our urban green spaces and forests have a lot to do with each of those issues. Well, C40 cities are committed at the first instance to achieve the Paris Accord, because the national governments aren't. So our science shows that if we're going to achieve the 1.5 degree target of Paris, holding overall average temperature-wise to 1.5 degrees, our cities need to be carbon neutral by 2050. And almost all of them have made that pledge. Almost all of them have plans underway to achieve that goal, ideally peaking emissions in 2020. That won't be possible without consideration of the urban forest. It absorbs carbon. It mitigates the urban heat island effect. You know, cities get hotter and hotter. It helps people be healthier. It cleans the air. So it's really critical. It's not the only thing, but it is very important to achieving those goals. Well, the C40 was started in 2005 by then London Mayor Ken Livingstone. His insight was that national governments were not acting fast enough on climate change, and the world's leading cities had the ability and the mayors, the leadership, and what we call in North America the bully pulpit, the voice, in order to affect change. And very sadly in 2018 we're still necessary. And it's particularly true in North America. Canada, you know, our government is doing a good job. They're showing leadership. There are some political fights, but they're trying. The government of the United States, of course, is going backwards. And the president recently, his own study, which shows how devastating climate change is in the US today and will be in the future, he dismissed. So in that context, the leadership of the mayor of New York, the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of San Francisco, the mayor of Los Angeles, and our other members is critical. First of all, to make sure the issue remains a public issue, that people know there's progress. And secondly, because of the significant actions those cities are taking. They're real, they make a real difference, and when you add up the actions of all those cities, perhaps we can help the US achieve what the national government is not even trying to do. Chestnuts, chestnut trees. When I was a boy in England, so my background, I lived in a little village in England, and then like many, we came to Canada. My mom came for a job and for me, for Hope, for her son. And she was right, it's worked out. But in a boy in England, we collected the chestnuts. And we played a silly game called Conkers. You'd harden them and put a string through, and whichever's chestnut didn't fall apart was the winner. And we played this for hours and hours and hours. And those trees are so beautiful, and you can sit beneath them. They're just fabulous. And it was such an important part of my childhood. I've felt an affinity for the chestnut tree forever.